Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Thanks for watching the show today. YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158 or any terrestrial radio station from coast to coast. In this hour, 15 minutes from right now, we'll get into tonight's Major League Baseball card. Plenty of great matchups on the board. Kelly in Vegas, a.k.a. Kelly Stewart, on the program in 30 minutes. She was in Dublin to watch her K-State Wildcats lose to Iowa State. What does she make of the Big 12 this year? And the good, the bad, and the ugly as well. Is there a team in the NFL, Pauly, now that we're done with the preseason action anyway, team that you did a 180 on?
I mentioned the Giants a couple times. I think they're going to be frisky, and certainly they have a bright future and a good roster with some young players. And I think by mid-October, Dart, maybe earlier, Dart will be the quarterback.
What would we be saying? That's exactly the team that I have at the very top of the list for me. What would we be saying about the Giants if they had a schedule like the Patriots, like they play?
Yeah,
or if they had the 49ers schedule?
Big serious hype train.
They would be
flipped.
Of course, they'd be a popular pick to win the division.
They actually have good players. I can't say that about the Patriots. Oh, Liverpool scored.
Got it.
Oh, 4-1.
There you go. It's good.
10-1 live?
10-1 live.
There was only a minute left, right?
Yeah.
It was a minute left.
They got it. It's a winner.
Unbelievable.
Over 4.5 is a winner at more than 2-1.
Wow. Madness in play. Madness between this and the tennis last night.
That's if you're Newcastle.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, how crushing is that?
That's a killer.
You will do anything at this point to walk out of there with a draw.
That would have been big to get a point.
Go ahead. You were saying about last night in tennis?
Yeah. The kid who won was plus 650 in the fifth set. Medvedev, he skunked him in the fourth set, right? It was still like 3-2. It's 3-2 Medvedev.
Oh, that was an absolutely exquisite goal.
And it looks like me out there at the PK challenge.
Yeah, except for the exact opposite. Look at that. Oh, is that a thing of beauty?
Wow. And it's loud in the book, too.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
A lot of Liverpool fans screaming. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so the Giants anyway.
Giants have good players. I can't say that about – it's the same thing about, the Patriots. I don't know about the roster. Definitely the Jets as well. I think the Jets are going to be awful. Just the passing attack looks atrocious. And between the frustration setting in with Wilson, that whole Aaron Glenn, let's have a practice without coaches and let the players run it. They were awful against the Giants. They were awful against the Eagles. I think the Jets are going to go under, and the Jets are going to be one of the worst teams in the league.
I had somebody reach out to me today. They are this close, meaning very, to going with the Jets Week 1 survivor.
Oh, come on.
Said same exact team from last year, but Justin Fields at quarterback.
Yeah.
Rodgers a year older.
Yeah.
And just gave me a plethora of reasons why he doesn't like the Steelers in this game.
Wow.
And I told him that's a major set that you have right there.
Onions. Yeah, that's big ones.
That's exactly the word that I use.
That's
big
onions. Ones. I think the Jets are going to be. I mean, how easy is that going to be for the Steelers to stop them? Because they can't throw the ball.
That's the thing, right?
Going to stuff the run.
Paul, I am in so many fantasy leagues this year, beginning tonight. And on vacation last week, I did so much like listening and reading up on fantasy from like really awesome experts across the industry. Garrett Wilson, I don't think I'm going to have on one of my teams. And he's projected to go like in the third round, I believe. That's a wasted pick, in my opinion.
Yep, I'm with you. Again, I'll make the case for Tampa Bay as the 1 seed. 10, 11 to 1. Eagles, tough division, or at least tough schedule. Don't know what's going to happen in the North, although the Lions will take a step back. McVay says Stafford's good to go week 1, but still, I think I'd see them battling it out in a tough division, and I think it's right there for Tampa Bay maybe to get 12, 13 wins in a bad division and a good offense again, and that Tampa get the 1 seed, and then it's a mess in Big D. This is ugly. Again, Jerry Jones violating the CBA, negotiating directly with a player. And then you have what happened on Friday. Mm-hmm. Parsons lying down on the table. Schottenheimer has to talk to him. He's your coach, by the way. Good luck with that with Schottenheimer. I don't think he's not going to be there week 1. Grab the 6.5 still available.
If it is, and then I'm seeing mostly 7s now, but if you get 6.5, I think you got to bet that.
Yeah, and then you have the guy's eating nachos. And then an Atlanta fan says, hey, come to Hot Atlanta. He goes, yeah, call me. Yeah, let's work this out.
Right.
It's just ugly,
So
they're not going to be able to stop anything. And Schottenheimer calling the shots. And if you watch the documentary, which you will, you just be like, it's unbelievable that they haven't been to a conference title game in 30 years. But the guy calling the shots is a big reason why.
So they're playing next Thursday already to start the season against the champs.
Yeah, right.
What kind of shape is Micah Parsons going to be in?
He's eating nachos.
Even if, right? I mean,
no.
Even if they sign him whenever that is, they could sign him today. Okay, maybe that gives him. But again, you've heard about this for as long as you've been alive, right? Like being in shape is one thing, but football shape is something completely different. And remember when we were younger, players would come back like in July and they would use training camp to get in shape. Think about that.
Yeah.
Now that has completely changed. Obviously, they know much more about their bodies now than they did back in the 80s. And you have to stay in shape year round. Now, again, Micah Parsons will probably be in good shape overall, but football shape, I'm not so sure about that. And what does he mean overall to a number? I would say as much as a defensive player can possibly mean to the point spread. Mm-hmm. He's right there with any of the other great players that we have. The top 4 or 5 guys in the league.
Well, the comments last week on Michael Irvin's YouTube channel.
Of course.
The agent said stick it, and I feel like I've already negotiated the contract. What do you have?
Giants at the very forefront. I was actually looking around for playoff numbers on them. The best I could find was like 8 to 1 to make the playoffs. I did not bet that. The best number I could find on them to win the division was 30 to 1. I can't get there because of the schedule. So no futures on me, for me on this team, but I'm going to have them as a team, Pauly, that as a dog, which they will be in a lot of their games, unless they completely outdo their expectations and they're a really good story and they win a bunch of games, that'll flip throughout the year. But I went from 3 months ago thinking that Washington was going to be a survivor pick and I'd be laying the points with them in week 1. I'm not, there's no way.
Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite now. And now we did have breaking news earlier today. McLaurin's back. He signed a deal with the Commanders.
Yep.
So, but I want the Giants as a dog in a lot of these games. Like you said, a ton of really good players overall on that roster. And you brought up New England, like that was your comparison. They have similar expectations with the season-long win total and the narrative that the Chargers had last year with Jim Harbaugh taking over as the head coach. Their win total was either 8.5 or 9, but they had a super manageable schedule in terms of the opponents that they played. They went over it. They were a really good story. They made the playoffs. This year in New England, total is 8.5. Mike Reese had a huge piece on ESPN.com over the weekend, like how much of the luster is gone. You have to consider that in a joint practice with the Vikings, they were absolutely eviscerated by the Vikings defense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Well, these coaches put more stock into joint practices than they do preseason games.
Yeah.
And they also sat 35 players against the Giants. They got completely annihilated by the second and third stringers by New York in that game. Both teams sat everybody. Mm-hmm. So what does that tell you about the overall depth of the team? I don't know.
Sure, that's a good point.
I can't make the case that the Patriots are going to be this year's Chargers. If you want to and you bet it like that already, good for you. I'm not going to root against your bet, but I'm not there with the Patriots.
Okay, and then I briefly touched on this Friday and Thursday with Samich, and we moved the number. If it's not going to be New England, maybe Miami finishes in second place. And I know there's a lot of anti-Miami stuff, but again, the guy went out there and had 8 carries for 43 yards. Ollie Gordon, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Every day it's something positive. He looks great in practice. There's another injury, and imagine if he's the go-to guy though in the backfield. If that happens and Tua stays healthy, I mean, there's a path there, and 1,000-1 now, offensive rookie of the year. Why not?
He was so when
He
you
was
were talking
2,000.
He was 2,000-1. Where was that at?
Yeah, that was at DK and Will Hill.
They actually offered him.
He was actually offered
at 2,000-1. That big of a number.
Yes, and then when I bet it and Samich bet it, now it's 1,000. It's still 1,000 at Will Hill.
It is?
I give him credit for having it up. Yeah.
Oh no, I think they moved it drastically.
Yeah.
Because you sent me a text on that. I was on vacation last week. If it's still, because the best number I could find when you sent me the text was 300.
Oh God.
Circa was down to 175-1 on him.
Are you kidding?
No, not at all. So you'll have to go back and double check that.
I got 1,000-1. Yeah, right here in my app. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I took some 300 when you text me. That was the best number I could find by a mile.
But the other thing, though, too, is again, since we made the bet, it's been nothing but more positive news.
And you factor in the HN, how he's not.
Yeah, right.
I think there's actually, and this is a little bit of, I'm going to go against the grain here and go contrarian. All you've heard about is negative Miami talk for 3 months now.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, there's a good chance here the Patriots don't win 9 games, in my opinion. And you think the Jets are going to be an abomination. I can't really think they're going to win more than 7-8 games at best. Why can't the Dolphins finish in second place? Why can't their offense, if Tua stays healthy the whole time, be good enough to win like 8-9 games and finish? Because you can bet that 1-2 exacta, Bills Dolphins, which was a nice plus money price when we talked about it weeks ago here on the show. But so he's absolutely a guy that I have circled with. I'm in like 25 fantasy drafts, whatever that stupid number is this year.
Yeah.
Probably not quite that high. I will look at him as a late round flyer.
That's the other thing. Bingo. That's the other one. You got to take this guy in fantasy. And he could be a big part of their offense. Trying to find him. He's still 1,000-1 at DraftKings.
He's still 1,000-1.
1,000-1 at DraftKings. I'm looking right at it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely worth anything at 1,000-1.
Yeah.
Anything is worth some pizza money. I took Bill from the Commanders at 700-1 here at Circa on July 30th. He's down to like 30-1 at some spots.
What'd you get Merritt at?
That's him, Bill Merritt.
That's him. Oh, okay. Change the name. Okay, thank you.
Krosky Merritt.
Good job.
700-1 here at Circa.
Good job.
But I put pizza money on it because, whatever.
Well, yeah.
We'll get into today's Major League Baseball coming up next. Terrific matchups on the board, and no surprise here, one of the hottest pitchers in the sport took money today.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Good matchups tonight in Major League Baseball. We'll begin here in the National League East as the Phillies are in New York to take on the Mets. Christopher Sanchez and Philadelphia opened up $1.12 at DK. Thought that was way too low. They're now as high as $1, a little bit higher than $1.30 at some places on the screen. They're $1.33 at Circa. They're as low as $1.22 the way it looks at Wynn here in Las Vegas. $1.30, I think, is the consensus right now. Sanchez going, and Pauly, it's now 14 straight starts where he has recorded at least 18 outs, 2 earned runs or fewer allowed in 12 of those 14 starts, a 1.94 ERA, 2.17 FIP, and a 26% K rate. The guy can win the Cy Young in the National League. He's been that good.
I'm all about the Phillies here.
I think you have to be, right?
Because Senga's been awful. Since the break, ERA of 6, even though they took 2 out of 3 against Atlanta. They've lost 17 of 24. If Sanchez gets me, so be it. But one team's playing good ball. Mets continue to struggle. I like the Phillies here tonight. I agree with the move. So
I'll tie this into a bet that I have for most wins in the month of August, and I think a lot of people in the audience have it as well. It's the Milwaukee Brewers at 14-1. They started the month with a 14-game winning streak. Now they only have a 2-game lead for most wins in August.
Phillies are plus 370.
Yeah, the team that they're leading is Philadelphia. A couple of other teams have 14 wins, right? And Milwaukee plays every day this week, including 3 against Toronto. something tells me that's not going to go well.
Okay.
So my buddy Chris Belm, who I think you know as well, he also has the Brewers. And we were going over ways to maybe try to like monetize the ticket. He found today the Phillies to win the series against the Mets, the 3-game series.
Yeah.
At even money.
Good bet.
So
Chris is the importer-exporter.
He's the importer-exporter. Yeah, that's right. So if you have the Brewers on a ticket at 14-1, and like there are several ways you could let it go. You don't do anything with it. I'm a little scared now after that 14-game win streak that they might not get there. They were minus 2,000 multiple times during this month. So I bet Phillies today to win the series against the Mets at even money. You could also maybe take the Diamondbacks tonight if you wanted to at like plus 160 in that range with Rodriguez going against Woodruff.
Yeah. I think they should win tonight. They're taking money. Woodruff finally lost a game, but he had bad plumbing. He had an upset stomach in that game, as it turned out. So they got to get their act together here, and I think they will tonight. And they should be able to touch up Rodriguez as well.
Yeah, he's been bad, it's a bad matchup for him overall on paper against his Brewers offense. One more thing on the Phillies, by the way, Trey Turner. Is he the hottest player in baseball?
Yes.
Last 10 games, he's batting almost 500.
Ridiculous.
23 of 47, 12 runs scored, 2 home runs.
Yep. And the one day I bet him, he had 1 hit. I know. Those total bases, I mean, the 5-for-6 game, the total base prop, you're cleaning up if you're betting that every day.
What did you bet him when he lost? Total bases over?
Yeah, like 3 plus 310 or something. And other stuff, he was like 1 for 4, 1 for 5.
Okay.
You got to do it every single day. I know. Humans drilled it into my head. You got to, when a guy's like that, got to keep coming right back. Because one day I bet Ohtani to go over his total bases. I thought he'd go deep. Nothing. He hits a home run the next day.
Yeah, of course. That's the way it works. What else caught your eye for tonight's action? A lot of good games. Like the Mariners are at home against the Padres.
Yeah, we got the Vetter Cup. Padres have the easiest remaining schedule. Good job taking 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. I don't like Bryce Miller at all, but you figure there's a letdown spot here. Sears is 0-6 lifetime against the Mariners. The big dumper doing it again. More home runs. How is he plus money to win the MVP? I don't believe this. He's going to break every record this year. He's going to have most home runs by a catcher. He's going to have most home runs by a switch hitter.
Right.
Now they just got to make the playoffs. But yeah, this one's tough, but I don't want any part of Miller. I would think there'd be runs scored in that game.
Yeah, I will go back to their first series this season. That was in mid-May, and that was when the Mariners absolutely destroyed them. They swept them, and the Friars scored 1 run in each of those 3 games. That's the weekend that I bet the Mariners at 33-1 to win the World Series, thinking that they might potentially make a move or two at the deadline, which thank God they did. But I just thought when their pitching is going like this, who can match that? And you mentioned the Padres now easiest remaining schedule. File this away, maybe. This is why, if they would have... Good job by the Dodgers taking 4 out of those 6 games that they played. If that would have been reversed, after this series, the Padres get 3 against Minnesota, 3 against Baltimore, 7 against Colorado.
Yeah, big.
They should go on an absolute tear here.
Did you see the Red Sox? 16 in a row against teams with a losing record now. 16 in a row. They only have 9 games left against a team with a winning record. I think that they're too high, though, tonight. Baltimore's won 5 in a row with the Sagano kid on the mound.
Well, can you believe this now? Not only that, he's been good 3-0 in that stretch with a 1.91 ERA. So when it's Sagano going and Rogers,
yes,
the Orioles are like outstanding. They're 15 games over 500. They're 25 games under when anybody else starts for them. Mm-hmm. By the way, that Trevor Rogers is putting together an awesome season.
Yep. I got to take the Royals on principle. To my guy, Cameron. Royals aren't out of this. They're only 3 back now.
Yeah.
Mariners can't put them away. Shane Smith has been awful in August. $1.30 with Kansas City. They're 20-3. Last 23 against the White Sox. And Witt's hitting .444 against them. Smith, last 9, ERA of 7. I think the Royals can take them out here as well. And some props. Lindor hitting .429 against Sanchez. Seager .450 against Soriano. Rooker .470 against Skubal. Good job by Texas to get the broom out and sweep. Cleveland's lost 8 of 9 now. But DeGrom, they skipped his start. So this is his first start since August 15th, I believe.
Are you a little bit concerned there?
Yeah.
Going to war with him tonight?
Yeah, and he's $2. So maybe he goes the distance, but a total of 7 here. We'll see how long he goes and see if Texas can keep this going tonight in that one. But The other one is, how about Scherzer? You got your great numbers here on the Blue Jays who are at home. Ryan had a horrible performance last time out. Mm-hmm. The A's lit him up. And
that was coming off of a great performance against the Yankees.
Right, shut the Yankees down. Yep, Scherzer's $1.45 at home against the Twins.
All right, so here are some numbers overall on the Blue Jays. They are 42-21 at home. That is the best overall mark in all of baseball. Scherzer has been strong. 2.25 ERA, last 5 starts, going 6 innings or more in all 5 of those games. Opponents in that stretch, Pauly, hitting below 200. Now, he has not faced the Twins since 2023 when he was with the Rangers, but he's 6-0 with a 2.83 ERA in his last 9 starts against Minnesota. And that's the angle here, right, is that starting pitchers are on a 28-6-1 under run with their K-prop when they take on the Blue Jays in Toronto. Does not go well. He's 5.5 tonight, plus money to the over. Other teams that are trending in certain directions here. Opposing pitchers are 14-2-1 under their K-prop against the Royals. They're also 16-5 under against the Rangers, 11-5 under against the Rockies, 25-8 under against the White Sox. We mentioned Sagano going for the Orioles tonight. Starting pitchers are 16-5 under their K-prop against Boston. And to flip it, starting pitchers are 10-1 under against Baltimore. Some first 5 numbers here. The Diamondbacks are 13-6-1 in their last 20. The Dodgers 11-4-2 last 17. The Mets 10-3-1 last 14. The Yankees 7-1-3 in their last 11. Are we going to get the boomsticks out tonight? They homered a bunch of times yesterday in that game. The Nationals, now Lord's going in this game for the Nats. But as a team, the Nationals have allowed 38 home runs this month, tied for the second most in the majors with the Rangers, only behind the Rockies, who have allowed 43. And the K-prop projection tonight at vsin.com, courtesy of our friends at Ballpark Pal, they like Schlittler to go over based on the numbers with his K-prop. That guy's actually been really, really good since they called him up. And I think you could find a manageable number on him at 5.5 tonight to go over that number. They actually thought it was a good bet on over 6.5 with the alt number there, based on the odds.
Very good. Well, they are making you pay tonight. Trey Turner, 3 total bases plus 270, 4 total bases plus 425. But that's also a hottie. Did you see the move on Asia Wilson?
Oh my God, did I ever.
She went from 100-1 to 2-1 in 2 weeks to win MVP.
Yeah. Now Collier came back last night.
Yeah, she was good.
And she was fantastic.
Yeah. But they've won 10 in a row, and she's going like 30-10 every game.
Every game. You can't deny it.
Wow.
I think she's live, Paul.
Did you ever see a move like that?
In 2 weeks?
Yeah, 100-1 to 2-1. It's a perfect storm.
That's a big move.
They play the Sky tonight.
I got to be honest. Yeah, they should kill him.
Yeah,
right?
That's Angel Reese rebounds under. Wilson's going to grab him, and Cordasco's getting more run. Need a proxy? Join the world's biggest football contest with one trip to Vegas anytime before the season starts. We're over 10,000 in Circa Survivor. We're at 22 on Grandissimo. We're approaching 1,000 in the Westgate College as well. Winner Circle Proxy Service helped clients win over $9 million the last 2 seasons. Trusted by thousands of players over the last 9 years. Learn more about using a trusted proxy service. winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN. Get it now? Time's running out. winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN.
Kelly Stewart on the program next. She was in Dublin to watch her K-State Wildcats lose to Iowa State in Week 0. We're going to thoughts on the Big 12 overall after watching that game and what she's betting in Week 1 next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
It's good to be here on a Monday with Week 0 in the books. Week 1 now on tap, and we head out here to the Progressive Guest Line as Kelly Stewart joins the program as she is on the Progressive Guest Line. You know her probably a little bit better as Kelly in Vegas. Good afternoon, Kelly. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Hey, guys. I'm doing all right. Outside of not having my luggage from Ireland, I'd say today was a success. No jet lag. Feel like $1 million. I'm ready for college football Week 1.
You still don't have the luggage?
Yeah, I kind of warned you that might be the case when you texted me yesterday. I was like, we're going to see if it makes it. Whenever you have multiple layovers, that's always a gamble.
Yeah,
okay.
Fair points. Yeah. Fair points.
By the way, that video that kind of went viral after the game, Avery Johnson's brother and dad fighting, can you confirm the rumor here? Any truth to that they were actually fighting over you and not the K-State loss?
I've never met either one of them, but I can confirm I also wanted to fight people after that game. It was a very frustrating game. It was crappy weather, and we just didn't get the result that I think a lot of Wildcat fans, flew halfway around the world to get. So all jokes aside, the fight was not over me, but I will say this. I don't know what they were fighting over, but surely couldn't have been Avery's performance. He was one of the only mistake-free players.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what did you think about the Big 12, by the way, before that game, and what do you make of it now? I mean, we all think it's going to be pretty much wide open. Did you have that same opinion?
Yeah, I was on, last Friday, boots on the ground in Dublin, talking to Dave, and he said, what do you think? I said, 5-6 teams? Your guess is as good as mine. This is such a interesting conference, right? We get a lot of hype around the SEC and the Big Ten, but top to bottom, at least from the top perspective, there's 6, maybe even 7 teams we could argue. Was Iowa State better than advertised? I don't think they were. I think K-State beat themselves. There were some questionable calls. And then, of course, not only 2 turnovers, but multiple 4th down conversions that failed. Arizona State, are they going to take a step back? I'll get to Utah here in a minute because I'm already betting against them week 1. Texas Tech spent a ton of money on their roster. How can they not be good, right? The old Texas Longhorn adage. We'll see. I think Baylor's going to surprise a lot of people. Kansas, new stadium, looked good against Fresno State on Saturday night. They're getting a little bit of love now. My Kansas State Wildcats are going to be fine. Here's the real reality. That was a tough game. And let's just say it. I'm not going to downgrade them at all. I asked Brad Powers sent him a text. I said, all right, I'm gonna downgrade 0 points for Iowa State, or upgrade 0 points for Iowa State. And I said, what are you gonna downgrade K-State? He goes, half a point. I said, yeah, probably the same thing. We'll see if they can't get it together. They play a cupcake in North Dakota this week and Army the following week. I think this Wildcats team, while it seemed like, and myself included, a big time overreaction to that loss, may not be that big of a deal in the big scheme of things.
All good points. Yep. You downgrade UNLV for that performance, but not Kansas State. No, I'm with you too on Baylor. And I liked them Friday at home against Auburn. Phil Steele picked them as well. I think Baylor can win the conference. I'm with you on that one. And a lot of people picking Texas Tech. You're right about how much money they spent. Top 3 in the country in NIL.
Yeah, listen, here's this Baylor team that I think they could be sneaky good, right? One of my good friends, Chris Thurston's been on with you guys before, and he's a huge Baylor fan, alumnus, but he's so hard on this team. He's high on them this year. Last year he was down, said, Kelly, you want to bet against this team? Look in spots to do so, and he was absolutely correct. Here's the real reality. I kind of wonder if at least this week 1, this isn't like one of those sharp square type of sides, right? It seems like everybody likes Baylor, and that always concerns me. They were on my long list to start the week, but I ultimately just crossed it off and said, I want to see more from this Bears team before they earn my hard-earned money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you mentioned you were getting to Utah as well. So that's a very popular play. That's up to 6.5. What do you think of that night game Saturday night, Utah and UCLA?
Friday night, right?
Saturday night.
Am I crazy? Did I write that down right? No, maybe Cincinnati's on Friday night. There's this week 1. I got to get a better schedule because I think this is going to be just action packed all weekend long. I think we're going to see a ton of upsets, which is something we didn't see last year. And I think it could absolutely start here with the UCLA Bruins. And it has nothing to do with the Bruins. It has everything to do with Utah, right? The real reality is since joining the Big 12, this team has consistently underperformed. And I don't quite have the answer as to why. The Big 12 was made for teams like Utah, right? Or at least the most recent version of the Big 12. And that is to play smash mouth defense again. There was a few years there where everybody was just airing it out. And Utah wouldn't have fit in necessarily very well there, but they did when the Pac-12 played that style of play. So I had high expectations for this team coming into the Big 12. They had an older roster last year, but then they just went on the Cam Rising carousel every single week. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? The good news is they don't have to worry about that this season. But I do think we've seen when teams first enter a conference outside of Texas last year in the SEC, they tend to struggle a little bit early on. I expect UCLA at home Saturday night to get a little scrappy here. 6.5, I think, is now way out of control. This one opened. I think I saw somebody bet it in maybe June, like minus 140, minus 150. Yeah. And I thought, man, you're getting ahead of it I need a lot more information to be betting than in June. But now at 6.5, are we going to see a 7? Probably not. But it is my best bet for this weekend. I think UCLA is absolutely live. All
right, very good. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Kelly Stewart, she's on the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow her on any of your socials at Kelly in Vegas. Now we'll fast forward here to Sunday. It's not the big boy with Notre Dame and Miami. It's the game Sunday afternoon as Vatech takes on South Carolina. Gamecocks laying about 8 here. But again, you're a big dog player. Tell us why you like the Hokies.
Yeah, I'm looking for underdogs every single week. And the underdogs I'm looking for, Mitch, are the ones that can win outright. And I looked at this game and I thought, okay, this one has been bet up. And now we've seen it start to come back, right? Mm-hmm. We've seen some of that movement come in on Virginia Tech. This was a team historically, that's just been on a downward spiral, right? This is a Gamecocks team that's now on the uphill slide with Lenora Sellers. I think they were very impressive, right? But there's a few games there where they had, just awful performances. I'll throw the Old Dominion game out the window as a fluke. There were some other ones where they really started to impress me, but they play so much better as an underdog. As a favorite, this is a team that I'm looking to bet against. I do not think the odds makers have a lot of faith in this Gamecocks team. I know a lot of sports bettors that seem to think, okay, do they have an outside shot here to win the SEC? I just don't think so. Everybody's hearing Lenora Sellers, Heisman. Have you guys been hearing that in Vegas? Because I've been hearing it a lot. And I think we got to pump the brakes a little bit. Again, I'm looking for underdogs that can win outright. This is going to be really tough for Virginia Tech to go into Columbia and get the outright win. But I think Virginia Tech is going to be better than advertised, at least in terms of how they finished last year, just a lowly 6-7. One team just getting a little too much love here. So I'll take the other side.
All right. Has the number moved too much as Toledo takes on Kentucky? Wildcats open up, 11.5 in the game? That's down to like 7.5 or 8 right now.
Listen, Mitch, you're asking yourself the same question as me. Again, when I do this 3-team parlay for the guys over there at the Westgate, I do it for myself. They like to put it up on their app for me. I always appreciate it. I have not won a parlay in the last 2 seasons. I hit 2 back-to-back when I was with Barstool, and it has been painful ever since. I've hit 2 and 3 so many times. So now that I've got 2 games I really like this weekend, I've been trying hard to find that third. Is it Toledo? Is it Northwestern? Is it UTEP? There's a lot of these dogs that are just on that fringe. I really want to like Toledo here. They've won their last 3 games outright as an underdog. And what does Kentucky do as a favorite? I'm over here bashing South Carolina being a poor favorite. They've lost 3 of their 4 last games as a favorite outright. So here's the Toledo Rockets team. Are they ready to step up in play? Can they go in and upset an SEC team that, by all intents and purposes, looked really great to start last season, and then we kind of saw them, slide down there at the end of the year? Kentucky has a turnover problem. Those things may be fixed this year. Look, bottom line, I've never hit one of these parlays week 1. Not really necessarily expecting to do so again this year, but I think Toledo is going to end up being my third play. Again, I know that the value from a numbers perspective is pretty much gone, coming down here from 8 or from 11 to 8. Now even starting to see 7.5s on the odds screen.
Paul Stone agrees with you. I think they can win the game outright. Will you admit that anyone try to get you to try Busch Light?
I've had Busch Light plenty of times.
Oh,
Pauly, I'm from Kansas.
Oh,
from the Midwest.
The Busch Latte. I thought it was just the Iowa State thing.
Oh, no, God, no.
Oh, the Busch Latte.
Oh, no. Pauly. No. Busch Light is great. Actually, that's probably the only beer I could still actually stomach. I managed to get a couple of gulps of Guinness while I was in Ireland. I just couldn't do that either.
The Guinness looks so good on TV.
You don't like it in person? You don't like when it actually hits your lips?
God, I love the Guinness. Yes, I can't believe you're over there with Guinness and they're putting the Busch Latte on.
I know. All right, Kelly. Great spot. Thanks for the time. Best of luck this week, okay?
Thanks, guys.
Great job.
There you go. Follow her everywhere at Kelly in Vegas. Yeah, Busch Light's been sweeping the Midwest for decades. The good, the bad, and the ugly from the weekend. Coming up next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
The good. Pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. The bad.
I've had it with this job. Got no food, got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
And the ugly.
First of all, that's horrible.
No, that was the worst piece of equipment I've ever seen.
Right. Start with the good. Great game on NFL Network. The comeback by the Bears and Bajent looked awesome, especially on that final drive, a little soft coverage with Kansas City. And do you want to get nuts? Ben Johnson will have to make a tough decision in late October. Come on. They just gave this guy $10 million. They just gave this guy $10 million, too. They like him. Offense didn't look like that with Williams.
Wow. But
certainly you're going against backups as well. But this kid was awesome.
I hope you're onto something there, because that'll be good for my under Bears everything.
Yeah, that's right. That was phenomenal how well he played. And in the McVay stuff, it's so much. He doesn't care. Just putting the guys out there, play Bennett the whole game. And the guy's covered 6 in a row now. All the guy does is cash tickets and win games, and almost pulled off the upset as a 10-point dog against the Brownies, losing 19-17. Great job, McVay. That's my good.
Yeah, my good. Okay, it wasn't a great game. Hawaii probably should have lost. They didn't. They won the game. Tip of the cap to them. What a story this is. Their kicker. And it came out fast and furious from our buddy Pat Forty, but also Dan Wetzel, who tweeted this out after Hawaii beat Stanford 23-20 with a game-winning kick. Kanzai Matsuzawa is from Tokyo. At age 20, he was a waiter at a Morton Steakhouse.
Yeah.
On vacation to the U.S., he saw an NFL game, returned home and taught himself to place kicks via YouTube videos. So he convinced Hocking College in Little Nelsonville, Ohio, to let him come and kick field goals. He spoke almost no English, had so little money, he gave himself haircuts. He excelled in kicking and English, transferred to Hawaii this summer.
Gave himself haircuts.
Kicked the game winner. I used to give my buddies haircuts and vice versa. Giving yourself a haircut.
The bowl cut?
It's like Lloyd Christmas and Dumb and Dumber.
I was going to say
is what
that.
It would be.
Yeah, I know. Put the ball over that.
I saw a great tweet, by the way, to follow up on this from Zach Jackson, Akron Jackson, who covers the Browns. He said, little known fact, Nelsonville is known as the Honolulu of Ohio. So that made me chuckle. Yes.
Good job. Well, that's my bad is Frank Reich. What are you doing? Call a timeout. We can't take them with you. That was ridiculous. And then what you pointed out earlier with the play calling as well. Gashing them on their quarterback play was atrocious. And again, the head coach, you have to know that and feel and realize, hey, we're having success on the ground, and this kid is having issues completing a pass. They should have won that game.
Don't you have a feel for the game as a head coach? Why there should have been no. Remember the Michigan game a couple years ago where they ran the ball like 27 straight times?
Right. Can't stop it. Why not?
Right, sure. That's a feel for the game. Like the feel here would have been from Frank Reich. There's no way we're going to lose this game if we just run the ball every single play, because Hawaii's not going to stop us. We're going to score, get a field goal, take time off the clock, score a touchdown, whatever it is. Nope. Let's put the ball in the hands of my quarterback, who is absolutely garbage, and try to make a play late.
Yep.
My bad. This could have been in the ugly. But thank God for the Yankees' sake, they took the game yesterday against the Red Sox. Otherwise, they were staring at a 4-game sweep in the face.
They lost 8 in a row against the Red Sox, whatever it was. Yeah.
I think it would have been real again all of a sudden, like, are they going to miss the playoffs here?
Yep.
So I think they'll get healthy tonight, though, and in the series against Washington. But what a long season it's been for the Pinstripers here. I don't trust them for, how many teams do you trust in the playoffs in the American League?
I think it's wide open. I mean, will the Yankees make a deep run? Probably not, but I still think it's wide open.
I tell you,
because I'm going to die on that hill. I mean, not that they're going to probably do it because of their schedule and they're playing bad. If Texas sneaks in there with Eovaldi, and if Seattle gets in there, you still have to like Castillo, Wu, and Gilbert.
I would agree. The key here to the Yankees offense, I think, is going to be a healthy Stanton.
Yes.
If he can play.
But he was good last year in the playoffs.
Sure. Assuming they make the playoffs for a second, if he's in the lineup every single night.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. My ugly tennis etiquette. I thought the whole thing was ridiculous last night. I had Medvedev's back. The chair umpire, Greg Allensworth, told the photographer to get off the court after the photographer left his position and began walking along the side of the court after Bonzi had hit his first serve, leading 5-4 in the third set. He let him redo the first serve. It was like 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
And then Medvedev loses his mind. He comes in. The crowd starts booing and chanting. And then I blame Bonzi then for he didn't serve for 6.5 minutes with a delay. Come on with this. Can you imagine? Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 strikes. Hold on. Aaron Judge, it's too loud. Keep it down so we can concentrate. I thought it was ridiculous how that guy was behaving, that he waited 6.5 minutes to hit the serve, and then the whole stadium's against him.
Sure.
And then he was match point, by the way. And Medvedev comes all the way back, wins the game, wins the set, and then takes him out 6-love in the fourth set, and the guy won a total of 9 points. So the in-play's going crazy, and then it's 3-2 Medvedev in the fifth, and he led 40-love and blew the game.
Yeah.
And then the guy came back. I took plus 650 in play on the guy. I had to, because it's like, how can he be this high when it's 3-2 in the fifth set, and the guy came back and Medvedev blew it?
On bonsai trees?
Yeah.
Plus 650?
Yeah.
I will say this, like tennis crowds, right? Smart, cerebral crowd.
It's New York, too.
Like, they get it, right?
Sure.
They know what they're doing. They know
that
what
was
they're
ridiculous.
watching.
Come on. He had already served it into the net. Then the guy comes out and starts walking, the photographer, and then the chair says, "Oh, redo." And Medvedev loses his mind, and then he blamed him. The guy blamed Medvedev afterwards about it was unprofessional, it wasn't sportsman. Get out of here.
I went down a rabbit hole while this was happening last night.
The comments were incredible.
And the people who, again, like they bet tennis all the time, they follow it, they were like, it's a well-known fact that guy's the worst referee in the entire sport.
Oh, is he?
I saw it. Who knows?
Okay.
Take that for what it's worth.
I believe it, yeah.
Yeah. Paul, how do you possibly allow that to happen?
Ridiculous.
How do you make that decision?
Come on, the guy was acting like a baby. 6.5 minutes he wouldn't serve. Oh, too loud. Oh, come on. Yeah. What am I supposed to do? It's good for us. But again, the ugly Dan Quinn just does not care at all about the preseason. And they were facing the Ravens. That's why, with 30-3 Baltimore, 2-17 straight up run for Quinn last 19 preseason.
Yeah. By the way, can I point this out real quick? How'd that game not go over the total? 30 points at halftime. Total close, I think, 35.5.
Oh, I missed that.
And they had the ball down 30-3, I think deep inside Baltimore territory, like twice in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Came away with no points. My ugly, look, I mean, Dan Mullen and UNLV won in his debut as the head coach. You were bumped up to a 30.5-point favorite against Idaho State. And Idaho State looked like they deserved to be on the field with you. And that game was in question and in doubt the entire time.
Sure.
And they were super lucky to forget covering. They should have probably lost that game outright. They allowed more than 500 yards to Idaho State. And UNLV's defense somehow, think about this, they gave up that many points and that many yards, and they still had 4 interceptions.
That's ugly.
I mean, that is... So, do they clean it up in 1 week? Now, they get Sam Houston State. You know, they eventually got blown out by Western Kentucky.
Yeah, but they had the lead in that game, late third quarter.
Yeah, they broke off a couple of nice runs, and again, they had that long scoop and score on the scoop 6. But... to me, UNLV, you trust Mullen and the defensive coordinator here to clean it up after 1 week?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I trust. I like Mullen. I don't know if I trust the roster because they lost so many guys.
They lost a zillion guys on both sides, and I think the offense is going to be fine with him. They have talent still there, and that they brought in. But this team might be playing in shootouts here to begin the year.
Like our guest said earlier, though, best time of the year because you have the overreactions after a game or two. Well, remember the kid for A&M? Kenny Thrill Hill, whatever his name was.
Kenny Thrill Hill, yeah.
Yeah, Heisman talk. Oh, watch out there.
Sure.
He wasn't even the quarterback. He got benched like a month later.
Right.
Good, the bad, the ugly, brought to you by sharpplays.com. Get the latest betting insights and analysis now. Sharpplays.com.
We do have breaking news, by the way, in the National Football League. And the Bengals are closing in on an agreement. Luke, have you seen this? Is it finalized yet?
I've seen it's done.
You're seeing it's done?
Yes.
Okay.
$14 million raise.
For Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
All right, so he is the reigning and defending NFL sack leader.
The reigning. The defending. Yeah, they got it done. Good. That got done. McLaurin got done. But Myers requests a trade, too. It's never a dull day with the Raiders.
Oh, and they just signed Amari Cooper.
Oh, God. So now we're waiting on Parsons. And I think we're going to be keep waiting there. Hear me, watch a documentary. Remember, they won the Super Bowl? Emmitt Smith? Nah, we're not going to pay you that. Then finally they started 0-2. Yeah. It's like, okay, the importance of Emmitt Smith, I better get him in here.
That's right. I still don't. I mean, Hendrickson's awesome. What does that mean overall for the defense? I mean, all those question marks going into the season and in the preseason, you're watching them play again, you're thinking to yourself, this team's not winning 10, 11, 12 games. Offense might be awesome, but their defense is just going to be, it would have been an abomination if they didn't bring him back. But even with that guy last year, Pauly, their defense stunk. And he led the league in sacks. Yep. So I think it's the Ravens. In fact, I have a bet on that coming up a little bit later on in Pocket Plays. I made some division bets over the weekend and while I was on vacation last week. And up next, we'll look at some key week 1 matchups in college football. And you're going to hear some strong comments on the Texas Longhorns and their quarterback, Arch Manning, next on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.